Sky Squad, we are back in the building, back with the tea, and we got to talk about a couple of things first, y'all. We finally got some merch, y'all. Late Night Cravings, the brand. It is in the link in the description down below. You guys can get your t-shirts. And listen, at the end of this video, you'll be able to see what the back design is. We got some crazy designs coming for y'all. I'm just excited. Like, I've been wanting to wear my own clothes for like a long time, and now I get to do so. And these are universal, so they're for men and for women. So hit the link in the description down below when you get finished. But we got to talk about some serious stuff first. We'll get into then the mess right after the serious. I thought this was super important to post today because I just feel like with this time being so crucial that we really do need to start, if you haven't already, getting activated, getting registered, getting yourselves out there to vote. This is one of the reasons why I feel so strongly about this. And also one of the reasons why I felt like I needed to post this today. Okay. We'll reshare it with you guys if you hadn't already seen it.
Hi, Sakpase. Staying silent in the face of racism and hate is something that I refuse to do. This past week, the lies that have been spewed about the Haitian community, about my community, have been disgusting, deeply hurtful, and dangerous. Now, this is not about politics. It's about humanity. We must condemn this kind of hatred, this kind of racism for anyone. I have always been a proud Haitian immigrant, coming to America, working hard. That's what we do, coming from gratitude. And I will not sit by and let people talk about my community in any way they want for their own gain. The power we have is the power to vote, to register and vote and stop this madness, this chaos. Haïtien, c'est pour nous sortir, c'est pour nous voter, c'est pour nous register, c'est pour nous parler avec tout le monde que nous connaissons qui ka vote. C'est là nous gain power. I am not going to sit by. It's just not okay to treat people like this. We're supposed to be uplifting each other, from our leaders to our neighbors. This has got to stop. And we have to do something about it. We can't just sit by. Thanks for listening. Register to vote. We have 50-something days. Go out and vote. We need to stop this chaos.
So for me personally, I feel, and you guys, if you've been following my channel, you know how strongly I feel about voting. I will travel far and wide to vote on my own, if on my last dime, if I need to, because I simply believe in what the people who came before us, our ancestors, have fought so long and hard for, which is the right to do so. So, with that being said, with everything that we have seen last week and everything that we are seeing currently today, I just want to make it clear to you where I stand, and that is on the side of anyone who is saying to you to register to vote. Take a friend, take a family member, take whomever you need to. Get out there and do it, okay? All right, so now let's get to the mess, all right? Not so much mess per se, but I mean, didn't Nene look good last night in her return to NBC Universal? Okay, thank you, Queens of Bravo, for posting this. I mean, she's just looking good. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like it's nice to see. It's just nice to see. I mean, despite what you may think about Nene, your opinions about her, for me, I am happy to see it, baby, back where she belongs. And I just thought that this whole situation was, I mean, it was just so nice. And you know what was even nicer? You know what was even nicer than that? Can we get into this moment right here? This Nene Leakes and Karen Huger link up. Let's get into this.
Let's go! Let's go!
Why are we out of me? And this is what happened.
Shout out to Queens of Bravo. Shout out to Ryan Treesdale for posting this. This just gave me life for whatever reason. Y'all know how I feel about Karen. I just feel like to see Nene and Karen together, it's just like, I mean, it makes you feel like are we getting some classic? We about to get some classic, like is the classic Housewives era coming back? That's all I want to know. Okay, let us know what you think down in the comment section down below. It's just good to see to me. Okay, I wanted to bring that to you guys as well, and I also wanted to talk to you guys today about Braxton family values. Yes. So I did have a chance to watch the latest episode. I actually enjoyed this episode, to be quite honest with you. I felt like it gave me a lot more of what I was hoping for with the Braxtons, and that is to see. I mean, listen, I love Tawanda, I love Trina, I love seeing, Tracy's son, but I want to see Tony. Okay, I want to see what she doing. I want to see her go to the show. I want to see what designers she working with. I want to see some fabulosity. Okay, and so Tony is gonna give us that. Now, I also want to see Tamar, because as much as Tamar, I feel like, creates her own problems, oftentimes love her to death, but I do feel like she is oftentimes her own worst enemy. And I'm going to give you some examples of behavior that I just find to be getting in the way. You know what I'm saying? Of what you really want to do, right? But we'll get to that in a second. On a scale of 1 to 10, if I had to rate this episode, I would give it like a 9. I was satisfied. It was kind of, I mean, I don't want to say it was light on the drama. It wasn't as heavy of a watch for me. And as you guys know, I'm simply, I'm a fan of the Braxtons in general. So despite however many views my reviews on this show gets, I'm still rocking with it until I can't rock with it no more. We TV, I need my screeners back. Okay, can y'all come on with it? Anyway, so the episode is episode 6 of season 1, and it says Tony gears up for her Vegas residency and gets involved in her son's career and her mom's love life. Miss E goes on a blind date, and Tamar answers hard questions on a podcast. An emergency rattles the family, and one of their lives changes forever. All right, so let's talk about the episode in general. We start the episode with Tony meeting up with Miss E in LA. She's out in LA. We learn, oops, I done started the YouTube TV. My bad. So we learned that she is out in LA to visit with Tony, and she catches Tony up on the goings on with with the rest of the girls. And I guess Tony had forgot that she was going to be setting Miss E up with a date. And the last time somebody tried to set Miss E up with a date, I just feel like, I don't know why we keep playing around with this story, because I know I can predict exactly what's going to happen. She going to get out on the date. It ain't going to be with nobody she like. And then it's going to be filmed and edited to make us believe that this was actually a man that she had an opportunity with, and he ain't ever stand a chance in the world. And I was exactly right. Now, as much as I adore the editing on this show, I'm gonna have to let y'all know this is one plot point that I cannot to see no more. Do I want Miss E to date and get all the pleasure she deserves in life? Absolutely, absolutely. You're darn tootin', I do. But if y'all ain't gonna really ever set her up with any viable candidates, then I feel like what is the point of all of this? You know what I'm saying? Because this is the regurgitated things that we have already seen circle the Braxton Family Value show. So for me, I just kind of feel like, I mean, y'all can miss me with that. I was much more interested in her girls' lunch. Y'all can show me much more of Miss E and her girls' luncheon. Okay. Marla Gibbs in the building. I mean, Judge Maybelline. I mean, we got some. This is Miss E's friend group, and y'all been holding this back from us all this time. Marla Gibbs is in the group chat, and y'all just getting us this bit of tea. I mean, no shade to the ladies, but this is the new Golden Girls right here. This is the show right here that we might want to see. Okay, this might be the Golden Girls reboot that we needed. So while we wasting time with Miss E and this man that I know she not gonna be interested in, who understands that he is here to film a reality TV show, because he definitely was talking about I done filmed for Tyler Perry. Okay, so was you in Divorce in the Black, Beauty in the Black, Black in the Black? I mean, what were you in any of those productions? What were you in, sir? Let me know. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's a lot of Tyler Perry productions going on around. I'm not mad at not name one of them. I'm trying to be on Tyler Perry's level. Okay, I just got a book. Okay, I'm trying to get to the TV shows and the movies and whatnot. And whoop whoop. Manifestation is real, baby. Manifestation is real. But anyway, I digress. So I knew this man wasn't gonna work in no way, shape, or form. So they eating the freaks, the big old the fries that's bigger than their faces. And she go out on the date and he asking for black people food. And I'm just like, get this man off my screen. I know it ain't going nowhere. And I don't think she there all of 20 minutes, to be honest with you. I really don't. I think she was like, because she said, wrap this food up to go. Ain't bit more took a bite of that food. Ain't bit more take a bite of that food. Stop trying to hook Miss E up on the show, because I don't want to see it. Show me when she finally dating somebody, because otherwise this is not the move. Stop it. Okay. We know what's up. Meanwhile, and chances are we ain't gonna see half of the girls don't want to show their real love lives on this show. Quiet as it's kept, okay? Tamar and Tony, cough noise. And let's be real about that. We see the stark differentiation in the way the show is filmed, right? We see Vaughn and we see Trina. We see Sean a little bit, and we see Tawanda. I mean, although we still don't have no answers on why this man didn't ask her to marry her, but everybody don't need to be married, okay? And there's that. That's the truth of the matter. Everybody don't need to be married. But if that's where y'all at, just be real about it. Stop with the shenanigans of, oh, I'm gonna marry. I'm waiting on the right time. Stop. Just stop it. Okay. Like just tell the people we're not getting married. We fine with where we at and we happy about it. And I would be much happier with that. Okay. So Tony, who was a very interesting woman to me. You know, is she not? Don't you find her fascinating? I find the way she talks and thinks and just describes things as fascinating. She goes to Michael Costello to try on some dresses. And she's asking Michael Costello, hey, Michael, can you put my son in your show? Because he's the model, but he don't want me nowhere near his career. But I'm Tony Braxton, and I'm wearing your clothes on my show, on my tour. So I need you to put my son in your fashion show. He's like, I haven't even designed the designs yet. But sure, why not? Okay, like he gonna really say no while the cameras are there? Anyway, she get to trying on her outfits and things like that. This is the stuff I want to see. Fabulosity, baby. I want to see designers. I want to see all of this stuff. I want to see Beverly Hills. You know what I'm saying? No shade to Atlanta, but I do want to see Beverly Hills. I want to see Mr. Chow. You know what I'm saying? Because that's where they're going to eat at after her and her son have his shoot. So we see her son Denim having his photo shoot. I don't know how old this young man is, but good luck to him on his modeling career. He seems to be very serious. I think he has a very good head on his shoulders. I like the way he spoke to her. I thought like he tried to tell her like, I want to be my own person, my own man. But and he did so in a gentle way and not a disrespectful way. The way you see some of these kids on these shows talking to their parents, and you be wanting to reach through the television screen and slap them across the face yourself. So I appreciated, just their dynamic in their relationship. And please give us more of this. Okay. So now we got to move on to Tamar. Okay. Ooh. So this episode is super smart, especially for Carlos, right? As we know, Carlos also has another show on WeTV called Bold and Bougie, right? So it would seem like it would make all the sense in the world, because he's also good friends with Tamar, that when they when they did the live podcast for Carlos King's podcast in Atlanta, they filmed it not only for Carlos's podcast on YouTube, so it was not only live, but you could also watch the replay on YouTube, which was also nice. But footage from that was also provided for the Braxtons, which he asked her specific questions about on the show. Now, as far as Tamar's interview, she always comes across in interviews to me as very gentle, as very humble, as very much, like bashful almost. You know what I'm saying? Like not the scene stealing Tamar that we are used to. And I don't know if that is growth. I don't know if that's just, listen, we all have different sides to our personality. Y'all see me here and you see me sometimes very unhinged, which is honestly how I actually am. But when I first meet people, I'm really not like that. But I also know how to code switch when I need to. And if I need to go into a news station, you're not going to get all this. You're going to get a little bit of this. You're going to get enough that's palatable for America that's watching. Okay. But for my people who I know come to, we come to chat on a day-to-day basis, y'all get the meat. Y'all just get meat. You know what I'm saying? Whatever however I feel that day, that's what y'all get. Okay. And we have come to understand that about each other. We might not be in a good mood one day. Okay. I digress. Tamar. Okay. So she seemed like, I loved, just her explaining. I felt like she was very politically correct when she's talking about Vince. I love that she still has that relationship with him. I love that she acknowledges the love that they shared. And she, I feel like she does not go out of her way, but I feel like she's just very honest about where they were, where they are now, and how they choose to move as they move forward. I love it. But I think there's a little bit of what I would consider to be a little bit of a problem with how she phrased her comeback on reality TV, because when asked about it, she talks about, how she didn't want to do the Braxton Family Value show after season 3. Okay. She talked also too about how the show almost, I guess, maybe made her question her own existence. I'll say that in a more, that's the more politically way to, I think, say what she actually said. But my thought process is this: if you know that you have this really torturous relationship with reality TV specifically, then maybe this is not the venue for you. Okay. Because even now, there are comments and things being made about production, whether or not she is looking for us to respond to these things to prove that we want to see the worst for her, which I can reasonably assume the majority of us do not want to see the worst for you. It is that level of thinking, because they are dissecting your actions and behaviors on the show. Why have you not, at a certain point in time, either A, learn to ignore it, because that is what comes with reality TV then and especially now. So if you cannot reach that space, then maybe if it is that detrimental to you, why return to it? Now, if the why is this was Tracy's dream and desire for us to all return, and I want it to go the way that I want it to go, my question to you then is either you are in or are you going to be all are you out or you in? What do I mean by that? If you tell me that your name is a production as on the product, like you have your when I look at the credits, you will see Tony, Tawanda, Trina, Miss E all have executive producer credits listed together. Tamar has her executive producer credit listed alone. Tamar also has her production company logo listed on the show. So why is it? Because you have to know that the sound bite is going to be, I'm a friend to the show. We all know what a friend to the show is. A friend to the show is Marlo, okay? And that's not to shade Marlo, but we know, I mean, we know because we know Marlo was the original friend to the show that we really think of. You know what I'm saying? Like that we really all recognize, you know? So when you think about it in that way, the friend to the show is typically utilized in this way. The friend to the show is typically utilized in a way that they are brought in not necessarily to be paid to do anything full time, but to make enough of a mess to be featured as a friend. Has that not been the case with most of the friends on the shows? Maybe except for Miami, where I feel like the friends play a more integral role and they are used much less as a plot point and more of as, again, integrated into the group, but just not enough so that they get a mojito, because I feel like Bravo only want to give them 6. Okay. But they're definitely used much more and much better in Miami than I've seen them used anyplace else, with maybe again the exception of Marlo when she was a friend. Even saying that to me is throwing a certain level of shade, because next week we're going to see that you don't even want to film the intro with your sisters. To be honest with you, it is really starting to give because I know that's coming. It's really starting to give like Diana Ross and the Supremes, like Dina and the Dreams. You know what I'm saying? Like Diana Ross and the Pips. Okay. Now, I do understand that I think everybody has a right to do reality TV in the way that they want to do it. But the expectation, I think, would be that if Tracy wanted you guys, and the reasoning for doing this was that Tracy wanted you guys to do this together, then that probably meant that she wanted you to do it together. So I don't think it would be beyond the realm of possibility that you could show up for the shoot. That's just me. I don't know what happened before that, so I'm just taking a guess. I am putting the clues together, and I'm simply stating that I think that it would be better served for Tamar to focus on music and not necessarily reality TV if you don't really want to be here. And the unfortunate thing is, she's a great reality TV personality, right? But I don't think emotionally, it's again, I don't know that I've done it. Could I do it again? I don't think so. Not with an ensemble cast. No. I mean, I just don't want to be put in opposition with anybody. But if you know that about the show that you're entering into, then why would you even do that? There are unresolved issues between you and your sisters, and that's just the reality of it. Either you're going to solve it or not. And if you don't want to solve it, boom, don't do the show. I don't know. That's just me. But maybe it was an agreement that they would all be able to, eat off of it. And she was just like, okay, but if I'm gonna participate, then I gotta be able to have X, Y, and Z. And I don't really want to have to show up with y'all when I don't want to. And if that's the case, then and if they all agree to it, then maybe that's it. But it sounded like there was a real surprise about her not showing up to the shoot that we'll see next week. Well, yeah, we'll see it. We'll see it on Friday. The other thing that happened in this episode was that unfortunately, Lil Kevin suffered a seizure, which they speculate was stress induced, but it sounds like he's been having them since Tracy passed, unfortunately. And then the other unfortunate, heartbreaking news was that it sounds to me from what we saw that the divorce is, it's done. And basically, the ex-wife got full custody of their child and she got the house, it sounds like. And in my mind, I'm like, what? Like, I don't think that there was a prenup in place, so I really don't know. I would think that there would have been a prenup in place, given that she was marrying into the Braxton family. I would have hoped that, but because I don't know the specifics, I can't really say. It is unfortunate because, Miss E and Trina, went to visit, and they the two of them, I think it's very interesting because the two of them have both been through divorce. And so they were just basically, they're trying to encourage him. And I know that there were people online who were questioning why he was in a hotel and not necessarily staying with the family, especially given everything that he's going through. And I would also say this. I can understand people questioning that because of the amount of things that he's going through. But I could also understanding him still kind of wanting his own personal space and space to just woosah after filming. You know what I'm saying? And not necessarily probably feeling like a burden and just being his own man and just wanting to have his own space to just like exist as a man without feeling like so dependent. Because I'm sure the show is paying him. So I'm sure he's already like, I don't want to be a burden. You know what I'm saying? Like I could feel that. So I felt like it was appropriate for him to be in a hotel. I get it. A lot of people felt like he shouldn't be by himself, but I also understand it from the perspective of, he's a grown man and he wanna, I'm sure, have his own like little grown man time. You know what I'm saying? Not I'm saying a little grown man. I'm just saying like, that little time that you can get to yourself to just be, right? Especially if you're on a filming schedule. That is hectic. When you are filming, it is literally sometimes it could be like a 10 to 12 hour day, it feels like, or longer, depending on what you're doing. And if you're waiting, it's just a lot that goes into it. So it's important to have your own personal space, especially while you're filming. So that's my thought on the Braxtons this episode. I was asked if I was going to do it, and I wanted to make sure that I did. I wanted to make sure I do my due diligence and I stay consistent, even if I am a couple of days behind, but I feel like, I'm still on it. With that being said, listen, y'all, thank you so much if you subscribe to the channel, thank you so much. I'm going to try to do like a mini after show for members. So for the members, I'll be posting that soon. I have class at like 7:30, so I'm going to try to do that real quick. Lots going on. Make sure you guys check out latenightcravings.com, and I will catch you all in the next video.